This photo in particular, like, stopped me in my tracks. The first night I sat down with this book, I stared at this one frame for at least 10 minutes without turning the page or anything. I was just completely glued to this photo.
The photobook has a problem. The photobook is in trouble. Just when people have begun to come to terms with what a photobook is, thanks to the sustained influence of Martin Parr and Gary Badger's epic 3-volume history, its status is in flux once again. Although the medium now has a firm place in photographic history, and people repeatedly celebrate the vitality it brings to the field of photography, often describing it as a floodwall against the vast sea of images online, the photobook is changing right before our eyes, and most people aren't aware of it. The problem is YouTube. The photobook was once a cumbersome physical object on a bookshelf or desk. It is now a virtual object in digital space. It looks like this, 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 and this. The phenomenon isn't the same as people talking about young adult novels on what has now come to be known as BookTube. It's more similar to videos like this. Like children's picture books, photobooks are read within the videos for an audience of viewers. Both types of videos cut from mid-shots to point-of-view shots, making sure to capture the tactile experience of reading the books, enhancing the immediacy through gesture. The reading of these books becomes a performance. But there's a key difference between these performances. While children's books provide a script for the performer to read, a narrative to follow, photobooks do not. Instead, the reader of a photobook creates the narrative in the act of reading. The role that people play in creating the meaning of images is something that has received extensive attention in academic scholarship. Jan Battens argues, for instance, that a narrative arises when the narrative impulse of a viewer meets the ambiguity of a photographic work. The viewer generates meaning to resolve their anxiety about the gaps, vacancies, blanks, and uncertainties that photographs present. Moreover, in another important history of the photobook, Patrizia de Bello suggests that photobooks only come alive when they are used, touched, handled, and manipulated, causing other scholars to compare reading a photobook to conducting a musical performance or directing a film. De Bello argues that a photobook is defined by how it is experienced as much as by how it is made. Thus, the question I want to ask is, now that photobooks are coming alive on YouTube, how should they be redefined? When you are no longer sitting by yourself, conducting or directing your own photobook performance, but you're watching someone else conduct it for you, how does your experience of the photobook change? Might the performative reading of a photobook on YouTube be a new art form? I think it is. The modern photobook, the photobook of the present and the future, is not just a collection of images. It is a form of ekphrasis. Ekphrasis is a Greek term used to describe the verbal representation of visual representation. In other words, an artistic description of something visual. As an art form, ekphrasis is most often seen in poetry, such as in Musée des Beaux-Arts by W.H. Auden, Edward Hopper's 7 a.m. by John Hollander, or my personal favorite, Self-Portrait in a Convex Mirror by John Ashbery. When a poem describes an actually existing painting, such as in these examples, it functions as an interpretation of the artwork. This happens too in videos about photobooks. The content creator presents an interpretation of the book under discussion.
So here with this picture of these chairs by the water, yes, it's beautiful, but it's imperfect. The frame is tilted. This is concrete right here. And it's finding beauty all over the place.
The book you experience through the video is not the same as the one you would experience if you held it in your hands. But there's an important distinction to be made between the ekphrastic poem and the ekphrastic photobook video. The poem describes a static object, what Klaus Kluver calls a non-kinetic visual medium. The video, however, describes an object that can move. The interpretation created by a video depends, in part, on how and when the pages are turned. As with videos of children's books, the reading is a performance. But videos of photobooks are ekphrastic performances, create an experience of the book that you can only have by watching the videos. The video creator truly becomes the conductor or director of your experience. Don't believe me? Here's a test. Go buy In Plain Air by Irina Rozovsky. Find a comfortable chair. Sit down and read it. It's a great book. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. When you're done, compare your reading with those offered on YouTube by Alec, Soth, and Matt Day. You'll find that you've had 3 distinct experiences of the book. And if you're like me, and you're not a photobook expert, you'll find that the videos of Soth and Day have enhanced your experience. You might question why you bought the book, when the book they've created through their performances is so much better than the one you hold in your hands. That's what ekphrasis does. When I traveled to Vienna so that I could see Parmigianino's self-portrait in a convex mirror, I realized what a fool I was. The painting created by John Ashbery is so much better. I wasted my hard-earned money to come to this conclusion, and I'm trying to prevent you from doing the same. Photobooks are really expensive, so don't go to Vienna. Don't go to the bookstore. Just watch more YouTube. The best photobooks now come in video format, and they're free.